Reese's Week 2 video recap. So we're going to start out by charging our reward marker or our clicker like we've been doing at the beginning of each training session. So for this, I'm not asking Reese for any behaviors. I just want her to have a solid association between hearing that clicker and being rewarded with a piece of food. So we'll do this like 3 times before we get started here. Good job, Reese. Right from here, we're going to move into our food luring. So when I'm using a food lure, I'm going to hold it nice and flat in my hand with my thumb, and I'm going to put my palm to the dog's face. Once they're licking that food, then I'll start to move, and the goal is I want them to stay connected to the piece of food that whole time. After we've taken a couple steps, I'll mark that with my clicker and release the piece of food to the dog. We've also been pairing this with their names. Reese. Whoops. And I do like to practice this with the food lure in both hands. Reese. Reese. Good dog. This week we started to add the leash into the mix with this. So I have my leash already attached to a regular flat collar. I'm going to show Reese a piece of food first. Get her interested in that food and then drop it on the floor. As she's eating that food off the floor, I will use that as an opportunity to get this collar on her. And now we're ready to go. So we're going to do the exact same thing that we just did with her off of the leash. So I'm going to get her on a piece of food. Come on. You're being silly. Oh, what's that? Yeah. Reese. I'm just getting her to follow me again a couple steps before I mark and reward. Reese. So just introducing them to being on a leash, moving cooperatively with us while they're attached to that leash. Now we'll do this again with both hands. Reese. Good dog. Reese. Good puppy. And then when I'm ready to take this leash and collar off, I'm going to grab another piece of food. I'll get Reese licking that piece of food, drop it on the floor, and that way she's busy eating that food while I take that off of her. Good job, Reese. We've been continuing to work on our hand targets this week, so I am still using food in my hand, but instead of starting out at the dog's snout and then pulling my hand away, I'm just going to present my hand a foot or two away from the dog. Reese, touch. Good dog. Reese, touch. What a good puppy. And similarly to our food luring, I like to practice this with both hands. Reese, touch. Good dog. We'll do one more here. Reese, touch. Nice work. We've been continuing to work on our sits this week. So this week we are seeing if the dog can offer us a sit instead of us having to use that food to lure them into position. So I'm going to toss a Reese that cookie here. Go get it. Reese, sit. What a good puppy. So I'm going to give her a follow-up cookie for staying in that sit position. And then I'm going to toss a Reese that cookie to set us up for our next rep. Go get it. Good job. Reese, sit. Good dog. Good girl. Go get it. Reese, sit. Good puppy. Good dog. Go get it. We started to introduce downs this week, so the easiest way to teach your dog how to get to a down position is to start out with them in a sit first. So Reese just put herself into a down. I'm going to toss a reset cookie so I can show you what this looks like. Go get it. So she's already in the sit. I'm going to use that piece of food, have her start to lick it while I slowly bring my hand down to the floor. Down. Marking as soon as her elbows touch the ground, dropping the food right between her paws on the floor. Give her a follow-up cookie for staying in that down. Go get it. And then tossing a reset so that we can do another one. Down. Good dog. Good job, Reese. Go get it. We'll do that one more time. Down. Go get it. Good job, Reese. We're going to move right into our mat skill. So this week, our goal is that we want the dog to offer us a sit or a down position on the mat before we mark and reward them, versus last week when we were rewarding them just for having all 4 paws on the mat. So I am going to start out by moving the mat between each repetition just for the first few reps, but then I'm going to leave it in the same spot, and I want to see if the dog is going to find their way back to the mat really before I even have a chance to cue them to go back to it. Reese, go to your mat. What a good puppy. So still rewarding by putting the food right down on the mat, giving a follow-up cookie or 2. Go get it, and then releasing her off the mat. And then I'll move it just a little bit. Reese, go to your mat. What a good puppy. Good dog. Go get it. Whoops, I don't think you saw that one. Reese, go to your mat. What a good girl. Go get it. Good job. We'll do one more. Reese, go to your mat. What a good puppy. Go get it. Good job, Reese. We've been continuing to work on the dog's name recognition by playing the flying cookie game this week. So with the flying cookie game, I'm going to show Reese a piece of food. I'm going to toss it away from me. As she's finishing up eating that piece of food, I'm going to call her name nice and loud. Once she turns in response to her name, that's when I'm going to click, and then I want her to come all the way back to me to get that piece of food. Go get it. Reese. Good puppy. Good job. Go get it. Reese. Bop, 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 bop. Good dog. Go get it. Reese. Good puppy. We'll do one more here. Go get it. Reese. Bop, bop, bop. Good dog. So notice if she didn't respond to her name right away, instead of repeating her name, I made like a bop, 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 some sort of silly noise to get her attention. Good job, Reese. Okay. We started to introduce the puppies to the crate this week. So with this, I am going to toss a piece of food into the crate to encourage Reese to go inside. Once all 4 paws are in, that's when I'm going to mark it with my clicker, and then I am going to close the door. The idea is when I'm going to open the door to let the dog out, I want to meet them right at that threshold with a piece of food so that they're not foraging out of the crate, and I will release them using that piece of food. Hello. So there's already a piece of food in there. Good job. So I'll mark and reward for calm behavior once I shut that door. And then when I go to open the door, Again, I'm going to meet her right at that threshold with a piece of food. Okay. And use an okay to let her out. Good job, Reese. Hello. Good job. Notice I'm not using a clicker on the release. So opening the door, meeting her at the threshold with a piece of food. Okay. Letting her out by saying okay. We'll do one more here. Reese, hello. Okay. Good job, Reese. This week we started to introduce grooming tools to the puppies, so we're going to be using a brush as well as a pair of nail clippers. We just want to make sure that the puppies are comfortable with us touching those items to their bodies. So for the hairbrush, I'm going to start with the flat side first. I'm going to get Reese on a piece of food. And then as she's licking that piece of food, I'm just going to bring the flat side of the brush to her spine here. Yes, marking that with a yes and giving her a piece of food. We'll do that again here. Yes, good job. And then after I've done that a few times, I'll flip it over so that she can feel the bristles. Yes, good dog. Yes. Okay, we're going to move on to the nail clippers. So nail clippers are going to be similar. I'm going to start by getting her on a piece of food and then just bringing those clippers down her spine. Yes, good dog. And then we'll work on bringing it down her legs. So I'm going to start up at the top, bring it down, and pick up her paw while holding those clippers. Yes, good dog. Yes, good girl. See if I can get her standing to do a back one. Whoops. Yes, good girl. Reese. Let's see if we can get one more. Yes. Nice work, Reese. That is it for Reese's Week 2 video recap. Make sure that you are looking at your video library as well as your handouts for more information on the skills we've been working on with the puppies this week. Good job.